Hey guys, happy Friday. Today's July 25th of 2025 and I am thrilled to be back here with you guys. This is Love to Inspired Handmade with me, Christina, and today I'm going to show you an adorable little treat box and chocolates. But hey, it ain't just any treat box, it's a booze treat box. I know, not that I should be like, what? But either way, it's super cute and it is great little thing here. Right, ready? So last week when I showed you the mini tumbler treat box, I was super inspired by doing this because I have been on the Cheers and Sips bundle suite, the celebratory sips, DSP. I have been all on the whole thing with the stamp set to the dies to the designer series paper, so much so that I'll have a scrapbooking class coming up with the same fun little papers and all the things. And I always like to give fun candy treats when we sit and scrapbook together. So hello, what better one to throw in here than this one this time? So I've been like making all of these up for everybody to have their own little treat thing, and so I'm going to turn the camera down and show you just how you can create your own and yeah, have some fun creating as always. So here we go. Let me get my chair over here and right where I need it. I'm gonna move my paper over. I'm gonna scoot my camera down just so that I'm not just reaching for the stars with everything. Now, I plan on, with each of these treat boxes here, I plan on, let me move the camera down for you so you can see just a little bit better. There you go. I plan to go and get some like Boone's Farm wine or something like that to add with the little Lindor chocolates, but this actually fits perfect for that. So if you have some kind of a little event, or even if you're doing a birthday with someone, this would be perfect little fun gift to give away. It also probably you can have other little things inside here as well. I didn't try, looky there, you can put your multi-purpose glue in there and you could give it away as a little fun craft gift too with a couple of little other things. So yeah, don't have to just be a booze box, but here we are. So let me close this. I have made a few others as well. Well, pickles. And this one I used, of course, in the crushed curry. So the top of the box was with the crushed curry and the bottom was in basic white. And that's the one I'm going to show you again today in a recreation. I also did one in Granny Apple Green with the white bottom. All of them have the real red cardstock right behind the designer series paper, along with the cute little heart that says cheers to you, and added a little touch with the flower. I kept one just a basic white. Here, let me turn it this way for you. I kept one basic white, so it's very clean, a little box. This would be cute for some a little whatnot jewelry and stuff too. So I would love to hear in the comments what kind of things you would want to put in your box. And then I did a pumpkin pie. I love how this paper is so bright and colorful that you can do so many things with it. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. You're probably like, yes, please. I hope you've had just a fabulous week so far already. I know it is summertime, guys. It is getting hot and the temperatures I'm feeling it in all the things. So again, I'm going to use a crushed curry cardstock for this particular one. Oh, look, I even got some ink on there. I've got a piece of basic white cardstock I'm using for the base of the card. And then I've got some scrap pieces. Now I will give you measurements to all this as well. Now the designer series paper, I have used all of my celebratory sips DSP to, this was what I have left. So the back side is this real pretty print. I'm not quite sure. It may be like a secret sea, dark and light color. I'm not sure. But anyway, I loved the little fruit on here. It's just bright and summery. So that's the paper I'm going with. And then I'm using the Real Red, like I said before. So to get started, you're going to take a piece of basic white cardstock. Now, you can get 2 boxes per piece of cardstock. So like with the white piece, you can get 2 bottoms, and then the same with the top. Actually, even with you getting 2 pieces for the top lid of a box, you can also get you'll get 2 lids. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. And then we have the inserts of the box that we create too. And so as well as with the inserts, you can get 2 inserts for the 2 boxes that you're creating. So it's definitely, that makes sense. I know it's kind of sounded confusing for me as I'm saying it. So let's go back to the front. All right, so this is the base of our box, and the bottom of the box is 5 7/16 by 6 7/8. You're going to score it on all 4 corners at 1 1/4. So I've already got my stuff scored, and I'm going to go ahead and snip the bottom real fast because we're just going to assemble as we go. I'm telling you, this is got to be one of the simplest little boxes I have really created. There's not a whole lot to it. So if I love it, I'm sure you're gonna love it, and you're gonna wanna keep creating it over and over again. So, all right, so go ahead. This is the bottom. There you go. And now go ahead and fold all of your score lines so that they are good and flexible in all of the directions, just like so. And then, of course, I'm using my multi-purpose glue because, hello, that is my go-to for everything. It is my friend, and I know 90% of the time, all of my creations are going to hold together just the way I'd like them to, because I don't want no fuss. So then just take your box very carefully, fold it up to the outer corner thing there, just to create the box. You just want to make it as flush as possible. And then I'm going to stand it up, and I'm going to do this side as well. Boom. And there you go. Now you've got the bottom of your box. I did not double check all of my measurements. I know I've cut them and scored them because I've been making this over and over again for a minute, but let's just hope that I did it right for you guys each and every time. Oh my goodness, I started snipping and didn't tell you. Okay, so for the lid, in the crushed curry, for the lid, it's 4 1/2 by 5 7/8. And then you're going to score it on all 4 corners at 3/4. So that's what you're doing with the lid. And then, of course, I'm just cutting on both sides, just like I did on the bottom of the box. Give a little wedge here. See, I am like all over the place. All right. Here we go, here we go. And then let me get all those little stragglers off, move them out of the way. So now this is the lid. That's what it looks like. Now I'm purposely, because I got a little bit of ink on this from my little inky fingers today, so I am going to make sure that that goes on the top because it's going to be covered up with whatever I put on the top of it. Let me go over here to all 4 sides, and then I'm going to add just a tad bit of my handy dandy multi-purpose glue. Now, like I've said in other videos, just do a light little squeeze. Don't just squeeze real hard. You do not need a lot of this glue. This glue works well, and it's very ooey gooey sticky, especially if you have a new bottle. If you have a new bottle, just let it lightly go. If you end up having a whole lot come out, don't squirt anymore. Just try to repurpose that into other areas so that it doesn't ooze out. That way you don't end up just getting it everywhere on you and everything, and it ends up being a big mess. So now I've got the top of the lip box and the bottom, and you can see that this should fit. Let's see if I got it right. Yes. Ta-da! Okay, so there's our box. Super cute. And I didn't tell you the measurements, but it is 4.5 by 3 by 1 and about 7/16. So it's a pretty good little size box, right? So let's do the inserts real fast. Now with the inserts, you're going to need a piece of cardstock, and this piece right here that I'm telling you about is where the insert for the Booze, okay? So this is going to be at 4 3/8 by 5 1/8, and you're going to score it on the long side at 1 3/8, then you'll score it at 2 1/2, and again at 3 5/8. So once you've done that, go ahead and fold your little score pieces so that they are good and flexible, and then it's basically going to do just like that, okay? Because that's going to go inside of your box. Now it is optional. You can put it in there, and see, it fits just fine. You don't have to put any adhesive down, but you can if you would like. But we're going to, for the sake of, we don't want it to pop out, right? No. So go ahead and just slide him down there just like so. Give him a good little firm press. So now we have that. Now the next one is we need another insert that's going to be for our candies. Now this one's going to have a few more scores to it, okay? So gotta focus. All right, on this one, this is our chocolate insert piece, and it is scored at 1 1/2, or cut at 1 1/2 by 10 1/2. Then you're going to score it on the long side, and you're going to start at 3/4, then 2 1/4, 3 3/8, 4 1/2, 6, 7 1/8, and set 8 1/4, and 9 5/8. So then this is the tricky, okay? But you want to go ahead and fold all your pieces. It is tricky, but it's not. Once you figure out how it needs to be folded, you'll get it. So our flaps here, I'll explain this in just a second too. So this, pretend like this is going to be where your chocolate's sitting. So when you're just going to inch it up, you're going to say chocolate on this one, fold, pinch up, chocolate on that one, and then pinch up. And then you have these two little flaps here, because those two little flaps will be stuffed down inside there. So flip it over to where it looks kind of like so, and you're going to add adhesive on one side of the two little rooftops here, because we're going to want them to stay together, because that's where our little candies, this is the little separation to our little candies, right? So I'm going to give this one a good little pinch, just like so. And then, I just stuck my finger in it, not good. And then give this side a little pinch. So now you have it like this. Now you can do this next step a couple of ways. So let me make sure I got it on the right side. No, it needs to go on this side. You will notice on here that one side is just a smidgen wider than the other side, and that's where your little insert will go in at, okay? So on side, you can see right here on the these little flaps here, they can come up this way. It makes sense to me where you can put them on the outside like that and let them come up, but if you don't want that to be, you can, I mean, honestly, you can, if you would like, you can cut that off and then just slide it in there so you have white edges all the way around. I didn't. I just kind of, to make sure that it stayed in place, I will add a little bit of adhesive on the bottom of this and then stick it inside the box. It actually fits pretty snug in here all on its own. Just like get it in its little corner and then just firmly press down all the way, just like so. And that's it. There is your little inside inserts for your box. And then all you have to do after that is add your little treats, just like so, and voila. Now, I say that's all, but there's one more thing. Let's go ahead and decorate and bedazzle the top of the box. Okay, so we'll get this, stick it in there like so. Good little box you got. Now let's do the top. Now this is optional. You can just add a piece of designer series paper to the top of it like that, or I actually ended up adding another piece to the designer series paper to bring that extra little bit of pop to it. So now if you want to do that, your colored cardstock here, this one's cut at 2 7/8 by 4 1/4. Okay. Now this designer series paper I'm fixing to add to the top, this piece right here is cut at 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. Now I'm laying this one flat because I want to add my ribbon that I'm tying around it to it first, and then I'm going to use dimensions to add to the to give it the dimension that I would like. So let me try to get my ribbon somewhat even. Maybe, yeah, that'll work. Ta-da! Love this ribbon. This ribbon's actually a retired ribbon. I'll have to look. It's kind of like that seam binding ribbon in the red, but none of my ribbon that I had was the color that I was really shooting for. So I always like to keep my retired ribbon, and especially if it's one that I love, and then I will always go back to it. Do you do that? Do you like to collect ribbon? I do. Ribbon is, especially if it's one of those that I just love. Now on the back of this, I used just a little piece of Scotch tape to hold that in place. That's going to ensure that my little ribbon is not going to move all over the place if I don't want it to. I'm going to add me some dimensionals because I want to give this a good firm top to all the things. Oh, well, that little guy is just not wanting to come off, I tell you what. Okay, then I add it to the top of my box, just like so. Now I meant to save this to stamp, but I was like on a little system when I was putting Cheers to You, which this stamp is actually in the Cheers and Sips stamp set. So I went ahead and I stamped it. So, and then I had the little flower that I used for my, I think it was the Trio Flower Punch. And then I'm not quite don't hold me to if that's what it's called, but and then I just added some little frosty embellishments on the top of it. So I'm just tucking a little bit of my heart up underneath the ribbon here and letting the rest hang off, just to give a little extra. Now one other thing that I didn't do to all the other boxes is, oh my goodness, let me see if I can find the rest of my pieces here, guys. Well, I have one that's weird. I'm gonna have to find it. So we'll move along. So, oh, there it is. It was upside down, so I got confused. You can also, so all of my boxes, I didn't do the side, but on this one, I'm gonna do the edge and show you just a different little extra touch that you can add to it. So if you decide to do that on the little side pieces here, you'll need 2 of these pieces and that are 5/8 by 4 1/4, and then you're going to need 2 of these that are 5/8 and 2 7/8. Now we're going to go ahead and add those to the outside of the edge of our box, and then we will do the designer series paper that matches it. Just so that you can see a little bit different on what it would look like. Neither one, I mean, I think they will both look just as good as the next. But, you know, I guess I better not stand that. My flower is hanging off the side. It's going to tear it up. Okay. See where you can just get that little bit of pop of color from the crushed curry, but then adding that real red to it, it already is giving it, it gives it kind of like a more finished look to the box. Even if you don't add the designer series paper, I think it would look really good. So let me do that. And then the last thing, now the designer series paper, I think I'm telling you these wrong, but they're the right measurements, but I don't know if I'll tell them to you in the right order, if that makes sense. So that's going to be 1/2 by 2 3/4, and then you'll need 2 of those, and then you'll need 1/2 of an inch by 4 1/8, and you'll need 2 of those. And that's just simply doing the short and long side of your box. Just like so. I dig that though. I really like having that on the top of the box around the edges. I think that looks really nice. So you decide. So there you go. That's it. See how it looks? And then here's my other one that's not. So I mean, they are exactly the same, except when you turn them, one is finished all the way and the other one is not. But it still looks good, right? But anyway, thank you guys so much for jumping on another week with me and creating. I will be back August 1st of 2025. Can you believe August? Yes. So I will be back again next Friday to show you something else fun. You can go over to my blog. I will have the measurements and, you know, some photos and stuff of this and some other tutorials that I have done recently. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and ring that bell so you never miss a video. Leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and I look forward to visiting with you guys again next week. So y'all be blessed and have a wonderful weekend.